Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily here on the Audacity Network. I am your host, Pearl, and today we are going to be talking about how women get humbled in the big cities. Are you an 8 in Kansas? Are you a 9 in Wisconsin? Well, in Miami, you are a low 6, okay? But before we get into that, guys, I started the Audacity Network because I wanted to be free from YouTube. That's the Audacity Network. It is it's at the first link in the description or second link. First or second link in the description. We're on both app stores. All you got to do is type in the Audacity Network, and this is going to be a learning-based platform. We are going to teach you guys a bunch of different stuff, including how to be a YouTuber. If you are one of the 2 women that watch me, and you want to learn how to work in conservative media, I'm going to give you the ins and outs. I really would recommend buying that now. We're doing presentations on Tuesdays with smart people that are going to give presentations on how to excel in different industries. Mine is the first, and you're going to be able to directly ask me questions. It's going to be on Tuesday after our show. So if you guys are interested, make sure you sign up now because this is going to be a luxury service. It's going to be high end and it's going to have a high price. However, right now it's just $100 a year, $10 a month. If you buy it now, I'll honor it. I'll honor it as a thank you for supporting me early on, but that's not forever, okay? It's not forever. And the reason it's not forever is because when people see how good this is, really when they do, they're going to flood in. And it's going to completely defeat the purpose if there's a million people asking questions. It's got to be exclusive. So, okay. So today we're going to talk about women getting humbled in big cities. So just so you guys know, I'm about an hour from Chicago. And in this town here, there's 3 types of women. Okay. There's women that are going to leave for a big city. Hot women, right? There's not many. They don't stay here long. There's women that went to a big city and came back. And then there's women that could never make it in a big city because they're just not hot enough. So in the 20th century, there wasn't the level of creativity and communication there is now. When it comes to dating, a woman usually had to pick from the men in her hometown and local area. So a woman would graduate high school and she would look around and she would say, who's the hottest guy and most popular guy in my high school? And when she got rejected by him or he pumped and dumped, then she would keep going down until one guy stayed. And that's how your parents met, okay? So most women married their high school sweetheart or the man they met in college. So, or maybe they'll dump the high school boyfriend, they'll go to college, find someone in their eyes better. And they were fine with staying in the suburbs or out in the country and being the wife to a normal guy and having a normal life. But you know, social media came along and changed the game. Now, women, guys, there's one thing we cannot stand. Like, if there's one thing women hate more than anything, it's being left out. We cannot stand not being included. And when women saw these other women going to LA, Miami, Baywatch came out, they didn't realize all the stuff they were missing out on in the cities. You know, my great grandmother who had like 20 kids in the middle of nowhere, she didn't know what was going on in the roaring 20s. She was out in the middle of nowhere, right? So again, most women, if they're attractive nowadays, they'll move to a big city. And there's more opportunity in these big cities for attractive women to monetize their looks and get access to high value men. So some women look to monetize their looks, through sex work, others by marrying rich, others, maybe some sort of job that monetizes their beauty. So what we've created is the city to suburb to the out in the country pipeline. Now, what do I mean by this? An attractive woman moves to the city. She watches Sex in the City, right? And she does her best to monetize her looks. The attractive ones can get into entertainment, acting, modeling. And The women that think they are attractive will find out quickly that they're just not that hot because their outcomes are a little bit different. The small town girl next door that was the head cheerleader moves to a big city and finds out she's mid, right? She was the hottest girl in Nebraska, but there was like 20 people in her graduating class. Now, this happens in major cities and on major universities. When these women move to larger cities, usually they find out where they rank because of their outcomes. Beautiful women get the most opportunities. They are constantly pursued by high-value men and given career opportunities that most women don't get. These are the 10s, the 9s, and the 8s. The 7s and the 6s, or the 7s and 6s may have been 8s and 9s where they're from, but not in the big cities. So they get opportunities enough to know that they're not average. Like they might get invited onto the yacht, but everybody's asking about their friend, not them, right? But they don't get to go to where the city 10s and the 9s go. Or if they get into those rooms, they're not given the attention. The mids are not given the attention of the 8 to 10s. Now, all of these women have a limited amount of time to seize the opportunity of moving to a bigger city. If not, they'll end up back in the suburbs and back out in the country. Now, there are two ways that women end up leaving the city. Option A, they find a husband, right? They get that guy to marry them, have kids, and then they move out together into the suburbs. And they retire out in the country when the kids are out of the house. That's the smart move for the women that can pull it off. Or they stay single, get ran through in the big city, age out, and have to move back to the suburbs to keep getting attention. Eventually, they will age out of the suburbs and have to move to the country to get any kind of attention at all. There are different tiers of big cities that women move to for different reasons and results. In A-level cities, 9s and 10s reside within the downtown area. So if you're a single guy that wants to get laid by hotties, you got to move to where the hot women are. So I'd really recommend you gotta live right amongst the women in those overpriced apartments. Okay. So again, in A-level cities, 9s and 10s reside within the downtown area or where large groups of people congregate for social events. 35 to 45 minutes away from these cities, these women drop from a 10 to really a 5 and 6, 7 tops. Suburban women near major cities, there's just a significant drop in looks. Or if they are cute, they're moving to a big city soon. They are not staying very long. Tier 1 cities are cities where attractive women wield power and have the most opportunity. The difference between a Tier 1 major city and a Tier 2 major city is usually something like the weather or some type of social factor like the ratio between men and women in that particular area. Tier 1 cities are also where women can easily monetize their looks because they are known to have aesthetics as part of the culture. An example of this is hotter cities provide more opportunity for attractive women to walk around basically naked. So a mid woman with a good body can get the attention of a 7.5 or an 8 in a warm city. So the Tier 1 cities that I'm going to list, you guys are welcome to add in your take in the comments. Off the bat, we got Vegas, Nashville, LA, New York City, Miami, and Dallas. All of these cities are where attractive women have the most opportunity for very obvious reasons. Tier 2 cities are larger cities that have some type of issue that can affect how women carry themselves. Maybe it rains or it snows a lot. Maybe the average income is a little bit lower. Houston is an example of a Tier 2 city. It has been known to have problems with crime and can get hot in the summer and have hurricanes in certain times of the year. Boston is also a Tier 2 city because it gets way too cold, and there is a report of a housing crisis there. Chicago has rich men and opportunity, but the weather affects how women carry themselves, and it's not really known for beauty industries. Atlanta is a tier 2 because of the ratio of men to women and other social factors like STDs, the female economy where there are many successful masculine women in positions of power. Seattle is also a tier 2 city because of the rain and the feminism. Seattle has too many pretty women that make themselves ugly to fight the patriarchy. Washington, D.C. is a tier 2 city because of the weather and the male to female professional ratio. There are more professional women than men. D.C. women tend to focus on career more than in other cities. The dream of women is to get an athlete or entertainer, musician, or old family money. These can be found in tier 1 cities. After that, women will take a specialty doctor or a man in the C-suite. They can be found in tier 1 and tier 2 cities. After that, they'll take a regular doctor, dentist, or man in finance. Okay, so, based on the attractiveness of the woman, you're going to see different outcomes for them. The 8+ are able to monetize sex the most while putting out the least. I believe that 8+ have lower body counts than mids because mids have to compete. All right, let's you guys got to think about this. If you have a date with a mid and you have a date with an 8, the 8 can waste your time for 5 dates, right? And you're still going to be there because she's so hot. A mid, if you're going to pick the mid over the 8+, she's got to be easier. Right? I mean, you guys know how this works. So anyways, guys think they're safe with mids. That's not how it works. Women are opportunists, okay? So we're going to show some women that moved to different cities. So we're going to first start with this mid, oh my gosh, who moved, I think it was to LA. Yeah, LA. And she's going to get torn apart.
I just moved to Los Angeles, and it is so clearly evident that I am not from here. It's 70 degrees here, and everybody's walking around in coats and sweaters, and I am tanning by the...
She's got to be more naked, right? I mean, look at her face. That's not an 8+ face. She's cute, but in LA, nothing, right? I mean, in LA, she's going to be so invisible, so she's got to get naked, right? So... obviously, she's going to show more skin. That's a strategy.
At least I have the whole place to myself. This is warm to me. It's summertime.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so she's going to really take advantage of the nakedness. Now, I'm going to go through some pictures. And it's exactly what I'm saying, right? She's in jeans and a glitter top with her tits out. No hate, right? She's got to compete. She's not going to get near the amount of attention if she's dressed. Let me find a more normal, like this. Is that her or is that her friend? Oh no, I think that's her friend. So hold on, let me find another. No. Yeah, do you see the difference, guys? Before, that was almost a bombshell. Now, that's how women compete. They got to get naked. How do you guys think she would fare in LA? Also, by the way, yeah, I know it's a 6. Stop, she's not an 8. Stop it. She's not an 8. That's a 6. By the way, guys, feel free to super chat to the channel. I will read it, or join my website and I read the chat there. Make sure you guys are putting Pearl Read first. Type in Pearl Read 2 dots and then whatever you want me to say. I scan the chat on the website, so just try to put it in caps if you can. Okay, she came there with a boyfriend.
Podcast, and he's been working so hard recently that he hasn't really had time to take care of himself. So come with me to surprise my boyfriend with a little bit of taking care of.
Now remember, this looks nice, but it doesn't really matter what women do for clout. So remember, this is marketing for the next boyfriend. I just want you guys to be clear. When women market the things that they do for you online, they're marketing for the next boyfriend. We have to think, why would she post this? Do you know what I mean? She's trying to signal, I am a good girlfriend. So this guy here can slide in her DMs. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, so, or maybe that's the boyfriend.
My boyfriend and I are...
I think that might be the boyfriend. But you guys get the idea for the next one. Or to get virtue signal points. Yeah, actually, I think that was the boyfriend. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is. Right? No? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's taller. She's going to be gone soon. Let's just be honest. Because you have to think about the environment you're putting your girl in, right? You're bringing her to LA. Now you're putting her in a market with ballers, entertainers. Like I'm an hour outside of a big city. Here, it does not take much to be the coolest person in this town. It does. I promise to God, it is not much. Yeah, current boyfriend. Some of the clothes she wears adds like 10 pounds. If they're attempting to sell themselves, they're 304s and untrustworthy. Leave them. Okay. So next we're going to do another woman who moved to Miami. So a lot of people... Now I would put her at an 8. I would say that's an 8. Facially, I just think her face is a bit more symmetrical. She's got the big boobs. Maybe a 7. I would say a 7 in Miami, 8 in other places. Do you guys agree, disagree? Daniel says women have to achieve much in a short period of time.
Always ask me about the pros and cons of living in Miami. I've been living in Miami for 4.5 months now, so I'm going to tell you guys kind of like my experience and basically some advice, what to expect if you move here. Okay, so first of all, the neighborhood that you move to will make or break your Miami experience. I moved to the Gables Grove area, and quite frankly, I hate it. It's obviously a...
Do you guys even care what she's saying? I know how men think. You guys are just staring at the tits, aren't you? Whatever. She's going to get me views. Who cares?
Very beautiful neighborhood, but I do find it very difficult to meet people here because it's a very...
Joel says she's a 5. You think she's a 5? You thought the last girl was more attractive? You rate the last girl a 6 and her a 5? No way. No way.
Very secluded area. I don't find it as walkable either. Like compared to its counterparts, like...
She is actually less attractive in a Midwest state. Yes, truly a 6.6 in the Midwest. Hell no. Sorry, what Midwest city, John? What Midwest city?
Brickell, downtown, midtown. It's just not as walkable. And the crowd is a little bit older. Like, mind you, I'm 23, so the crowd here is just a little more established. Like, they're kind of out of that phase of like going out and meeting people. I'm still very close to the city, but I kind of wish I was in the city. Meeting people here is very, very easy, which is obviously a pro, but making substantial friendships here is very difficult, which is obviously a con. I have yet to meet somebody that I connect with on a like deeper level because I feel like everything here is very surface level. A huge pro about living in Miami is that there's always something to do here. Like you will never, ever, ever get bored. There's so many active activities to do. There's so many restaurants to go to. You'll always...
Yeah, she's getting taken out to restaurants. Come on.
Find...
So nobody's looking at her face. It's hard to tell if she's a 5 or a 6. She knows what she's doing.
Something to do here. Another pro about living in Miami is that it is very motivating. Like, you're motivated to make more money here. You're motivated to get physically better. Everyone here, for the most part, is pretty fit. Like, I've seen grandmas who look good as fuck. I've been trying to do my eyebrows, and I literally can't while I talk, so... A huge con in Miami is the driving plus the traffic. I thought I-4 from Orlando to Tampa was bad, but Miami beats it. Like, this shit is ghetto. Like, nobody lets you merge, and before they let you merge, they'll let you die. A huge con of Miami is the toxic lifestyle that it promotes. A lot of women, especially women, I feel like they expect to move to Miami and they expect to be on yachts every day and at Poppy Steak and at clubs. What a lot of women fail to realize is that all of that comes at a cost that a lot of the women who live here are not telling you all about. So
yeah, they're being hookers. We all know. Just
remember to come here with realistic expectations. A little more to that, like be very careful with who you surround yourself here, especially with the women, because the girls may come across nice, but they'll turn around and they'll try to pimp you out. And I'm being very honest about that. Like, be very...
Yeah, so when I was in Miami, I went to Nobu, okay? I wanted to do my first Nobu experience. And I looked around. Obviously, I got to rate all the girls in my head. And this is what I saw. So the 8+ were on dates with men like 25, 30 years older. expected, right? They're sugar babying it up. You got to be pretty hot to do that with a guy that's rich in Miami. He can afford anyone. 2, if they were mids, they were at a table with a club promoter. And if they were below mid, they were eating with other women and paying for themselves. That's what I saw.
Very, very careful. A pro of Miami is that I don't find it to be as superficial as everybody made it out to be. Don't get me wrong, Miami is very superficial, but it's not to the point where like how people described it out to be. Personally, I find Miami to be very, very regular, and I feel like the people who made it out to be like this thing of like, oh my god, it's such a dark city, like either are not surrounding themselves with like the right people, or they never crossed that bridge over there. I feel like I've come across a lot of just normal people here. There's a lot of working class families here. Like, it's really not as expensive as social media makes.
Are you guys listening at all? Are you listening to what she's saying? Are you, fellas?
Plays out to be. Another thing about Miami is that it's definitely cap city. Like, don't believe the bullshit you see here. If you feel bad because you feel like, oh, I don't drive a nice enough car, or I don't live in like the coolest high rise, don't buy into the bullshit. Majority of the cars you see here are leased. You know, you have people who are living in a 2-bedroom apartment in a high rise with 6 people inside of it. Don't let Miami make you feel like you're behind. Last but not least, I kept the obvious con for last, and that is that Miami is very, very expensive. Do not expect to move here and to save money, because it's just not fucking happening.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So what happens is these women, they go to these big cities, and a bad decision sends them back to the suburbs. Now, what bad decision are we talking about? One is debt. They get into a lot of debt. They can't afford it. They're back in the suburbs. Number 2 is going to be single motherhood. They get pregnant by a loser. They thought it was a one-night stand. Now they're back in the suburbs. Number 3, an STD. They feel pretty bad about themselves. They're back. Be careful with these women, these suburban women, guys. Or 4, they age out. There's some bad decision that usually sends them back. Occasionally it's a good decision, like a husband. But let's just be honest here, okay? Let's just be honest. Okay, next, the next woman. Oh, we're going to look at her TikTok and see how she's doing in Miami. So she's doing this too, the getting naked. Oh, wait, let me turn the sound off. She's doing this too, the getting naked. So obviously this is like a for sale sign. Feel free to DM her, fellas. Maybe you could be the buyer. You know, let's see what we got. Yeah, so she's just thirst trapping, a lot of nakedness. Yeah. You guys are not going to convince me. This is not a 5. I mean, I don't know what girls you're... Show me your girlfriend. Show me what the last woman you banged. I know women have a tendency to overrate, but whoever said 5, you gotta show me who you're dating. All right. Next we're gonna do Lauren Hurd from Denver to Miami. Oh God, she's gonna be invisible. Oh no. Even the first girl, like, she won't be completely invisible. She's gonna be invisible. Oh, wait, hold up.
And I just have a question. How are the girls making friends? So I moved to Miami about 2 months ago, and I just have a question. How are the girls making friends?
You're not going to make any friends. You're all dating the same men in Miami. I mean, that's got to be Chad Central, right? So you guys got to be fighting over men. Don't make friends there. That's just not going to work.
I moved down here for a job, and I didn't know a single soul, and I kind of banked on being able to make friends in community the same way I did in Denver, which was through, like, group fitness mostly, and just, like, mutual interests, like wanting to go to happy hours, wanting to go to, like, concerts, live music, things like that. So, like, the vibe's a little bit different here. I haven't had a lot of luck meeting people through fitness. I've tried the Bumble BFF, which I unfortunately met some very, like, schemy individuals, and it kind of turned me off. And I'm not somebody who's super into, like, clubbing and doing all of that, which, like, do know that I'm in Miami. I know that that's, like, the primary thing people do for fun here. But I know that there also has to be a group of people where, like, that's not their primary interest. So where are you guys at? What are we doing? How are we...
So she's like a 5'6". That's what I would put her
getting
at.
Together?
So I just can't see her doing well in Miami. I would predict a move to somewhere else.
I'm so naturally.
Okay, well, she's not as bad here. Six.
Promise I just need some more time.
Yeah, so again, she's gonna have to get naked because facially just not that strong. You know, she's cute, so okay, I'm gonna give her a 6. I'm gonna give her a 6. You guys are saying this is a 5. Maybe I'm being generous. Maybe I'm being, I don't know, I'd say 6. I'd say 6. That's my final take. 5 face, 6 body. Okay, 7 looks max. Yeah, fine. So, but I can't really see her doing well in Miami. I can't, that's just not, you know, if you're a mid, I would really suggest, where would I tell the mids to go? It depends what you're into as a mid. Like, do you want, like, if you're going to go for money, I wouldn't really recommend going for Miami money because, like, you're going to have to compete with these hot 22-year-olds every year. I would say go to a smaller city. Like, I think Denver is a good place for mids to go. There's still going to be successful guys there. Half the women are like lesbians, so you don't even have to worry about them. And then you could be like a good-looking girl in Denver, right? Without makeup, she's invisible. Yeah, I mean, yeah. All right, we got another one who moved to Vegas. So yeah, she's like, I'd say 6. She's 6.
What is there in Vegas, you might ask? I don't know. I've done little to no research besides where I'm getting coffee and where I'm going to the gym. What I do know is I got a 4-bed, 3-bath house with a giant yard, over 2,000 square feet for $1,000.
Tier 2 cities for money. Well, okay, look, if you're going to go for money, yeah, I mean, you have 2 options. You can go to the big city and compete with 8s, but you're going to have no ego. Like, your ego has to be gone. Like, that's what I would say. You are not going to get wined and dined. The only way you're going to get in the door, I would say, is making it so easy and being so nice to him and expecting nothing. That's because you're competing with way hotter than you. You know, that's how, like, a 6, that's how she's going to steal someone from an 8, is just being way pleasant. But women aren't pleasant, so just go to a smaller city. You know what I mean?
$1,000 less per month than what I pay now for my 600 square foot, 1-bed, 1-bath apartment. I've been in LA for like 3.5 years and
okay, guys, you don't get the Pearl read on the normal chat. You have to go to my website. Even Pearl is overrating these chicks. Oh my gosh. You can send me who you're banging. Do you know what's funny? I said that one show and the guy did, and she was pretty hot. So I was like, okay, conceded. Pearly has issues with the country girls. No, I don't have issues with them. Most of the hot ones go to the cities, right? Pearl Reed, you're being too nice to mids today. I know. I mean, today, I can't be perfect all the time at my rating system. You're right. 5, fine. Okay, let's see what else.
I love it, and there are things that I'll miss, like my friends and my gym and where I get my acai bowls on the weekends. There's nothing in Vegas that I don't have in LA. Like, I go out very often in LA. Like, I go out for my coffee, I go out for dinner sometimes with my friends, but I can do all of that in Vegas too. One thing I'm most nervous about is finding a new doggy daycare. My one dog has been going there since he was 6 months old, and I am stressed about finding another one, and he has to make all new friends. My other dog hates it regardless. She does not like to be away from me, so she's going to be miserable if it was here or a doggy daycare somewhere else, so that one doesn't make me nervous. But my other dog, he's going to have to start all over, and I trust that doggy daycare with my life. Like, I leave them there when I go on trips, so that's going to be the most stressful part for me. I was literally considering moving to Bumblefuck, Delaware to have a yard for these dogs because I'm going insane and they deserve a yard. It's making me depressed that they are apartment dogs. It's time to move. I think the thing I'm most excited for, besides having space to live and be apart from these dogs, don't mind me, getting to furnish an entire house from literally nothing. All I have is a couch and a bed. So I get to furnish this entire house from top to bottom. I've never been.
Yeah, there you go. So she's in the part of the modern woman life cycle where you buy a house that she can't take care of. And so she's going to have to spend a lot of money hiring men to fix it or getting a man in her life to do it for her.
Able to do that. This is my first big girl house. My bosses who live in Vegas, like 10 minutes away from where I'm living, are really good with interior design. I sent them my Pinterest board and they were like, done, got it, easy. So I don't even know if I'll really be doing anything. I might just be there to supervise.
There you go. I told you, or get someone else to do it.
But I'm excited to show the whole process from start to finish, shopping and putting things where in the house and making it my own. I'll be moving at the end of the month, and that's when the chaos will start. And if you have any shit to talk about Vegas, I don't care because I'm saving a lot of money here.
Yeah, you see what I mean? So LA, bad decision, spent too much money, goes to Vegas. Now, but I actually, do you know what? When I was in LA to Vegas, I thought the women were prettier in Vegas. But both attractive A-level cities, but she's really not going to pull the same kind of attention. Like maybe there's some mids that do get high-level guys, but they have to go personality very hard. They have to be very likable, and I just don't get the vibe. She's no Lauren Sanchez, right? She's no look, and you can tell the difference between a woman who learned like female game and a girl that was just right place, right time, lucky. Okay, guys. Let's see. We got Ellie Smith, who moved to New York City. So off the bat,
I just moved to New York.
I'm gonna give her strong 6, 7. I'm gonna say 7. What do you guys say in the comments? I'm saying 7. She's got the big boobs, right? Yeah, men love that. She's got a pretty symmetrical face, nice smile. Pearl, we should do a night out with Pearl. It'd be great to hang out with Pearl for a bit. Well, we might actually do an event somewhat soon. I need to get enough of you guys on the website, though. I can't put this stuff together. I need to have a proof of concept where I can say, hey, if we put this event, we'll get this many people. So make sure you guys get the app from the App Store. Okay, so
I just moved to New York about 72 hours ago.
All right, we got 6, 7, lowest 5, highest 8. I'm going to say strong 6 to 7.
And I know it's only been 72 hours, but the question is, where do people make friends here? Like, where do people make friends?
Yeah. And this is the thing, when you go to the cities, I actually found it pretty lonely when I was in a big city. I was in London. When I first started my show, I found it very lonely.
In New York City because I've been in my apartment and I've been somewhat productive. I've been unpacking, still have a little to unpack. But I will stay in my apartment for 6 months if nobody invites me anywhere. So adults.
Pearl app. My app is the Audacity Network. Type it into the App Store. It'll come up. That's the app.
Where should I go? Help me out. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I would say 6, 7. Right? 6, 7. Pearl's being too nice lately. I know I'm getting old. My heart is getting soft. She does have a big forehead. All right, fine. 6.5. 6.5. I mean, New York, I don't think is going to be as competitive as, say, Miami or LA, because there's a lot of career women in New York, but there's also models, but models aren't even that hot. It's like now they cast the fat ones. Like, so when industry starts to promote mid women, even in LA, like a lot of the actresses are mid, what they're going to do is the hot women are just going to go to where the rich men are and then get rid of the middleman, right? we'll just go straight. So I would say the most attractive places are Miami, Dallas, Vegas, LA. New York, I would put 5th. But hey, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Show her TikTok. So let's see how she's doing in New York. Did she move?
I got a package.
No. Oh, no.
I ordered new luggage. This is not a sponsor.
Okay. Pretty good body. Are we back to 7, fellas? Are we going to say 7 now? I hate you guys sometimes. Come on, she's a 7. Let's just call it what it is. That's a pretty flat stomach.
dancer. You can call her phone, but she ain't.
Is she modeling? She's kind of got a big chin. She seems to be doing well, I guess. She seems to be working the New York City lifestyle. And I wish her well. I really hope she gets whatever she went to the city to get. Oh, wait, let me see. We got another one who moved to Nashville. Now, me and Doug MPA were talking about this, if we thought the women. Do you guys think women are hotter if they like male things? For example, Doug MPA said men may find a woman hotter if she's into like fishing, like she could go fishing with you, or like hunting. But like the way I think is, why would you want, like, don't you guys like quiet when you fish? Like, why would you want a woman? Like, do you guys like your hobbies without having us ruin them? You know, anyways. So this is a mid that moved to Nashville.
I'm moving to Nashville, and this weekend I flew down to Nashville to tour apartments because one thing about me is that I'm super impulsive, and when I get an idea, I have to run with it pretty immediately before I talk myself out of it. So surprise.
Now, this is where pretty much everyone from my college went. All the girls I went to school with, they all went to Nashville.
In about 2 months, I'm leaving Pittsburgh to start a new chapter. There's so many reasons why this feels like the perfect next step for me and the absolute perfect time to do so. Something about turning 25 last month just really hit me with how fast your 20s truly go, and I know I have a lot more growth to do in my 20s, which I know I need to leave my comfort zone to be able to do. This weekend I found the absolute perfect apartment in an area that feels homey but still super fun, and we got to make a girls trip out of it, which is so on brand for my friends. I think they're more excited about me moving there than I am. I've never been more confident in a decision than I am right now, and I am so excited to take you guys along with me.
Okay, so let's see how she's doing in Nashville. Wait, escape. What am I? Okay. Let's see.
These are my 2 current favorite activewear brands for a mid-range budget. So pieces can range anywhere from $30 to $50, potentially a little bit less when there's a sale. They're still great quality, but the pieces aren't going to break
I'm just going whatever.
the bank. First is YPB by Abercrombie. I have a lot of different sets from them. I feel like I'm prepping to become a first-time home buyer in 2025. And
There you go, buying a home. It's like I predict this
no
like
secret that there are
clockwork.
endless pros and cons to home ownership.
Do you know what's crazy? Every man I talk to says they don't want to buy a house till they have a woman. And every woman I talk to just wants to buy a house.
So here's how I weighed them and decided that it was right for me this year. First, I asked myself, what do I see my living situation looking like for the next 5 years? Not only are you wanting to stay in the same city, but also do you see yourself wanting to move around living spaces, or are you ready to be in the same space for many years? I'm very certain that I want to stay in Pittsburgh permanently, and I'm also so ready to stop moving apartments every year after being in.
I thought she just said she moved to Nashville. So now I'm confused. Was that a different
These
girl?
are my 2 current favorite actors. My brother was. I don't think that niches. I'm a full-time content creator. So many people are making money on social. Hi, my name is Erin. Here's everything I spent last week as a 25-year-old living in Nashville. Every Monday morning starts out the exact same way for me. I'm pretty financially. Let's do a weekly grocery haul as a.
Okay, I'm a little confused. Let's look at her. You know what's interesting? So if you guys wanted to date a woman like this, you could get all the information that you need. Like on here, it's going to have why her and her ex didn't break, like why they broke up. Did she go crazy? Is she talking trash about him? You can also get like here, what are her spending habits, right? So
one thing that's been a constant theme in my life in my 20s is finding a balance between listening to your body and also holding yourself accountable for doing the things that you say you're going to do. I just got back from almost a 10-hour road trip, and walking in my door, the only thing.
So you're going to have to pay for road trips. See?
I wanted to do was rot on my couch, but I knew the anxiousness that I was feeling about getting back into work and back into my
Okay, so she's super anxious. Good to know.
routine. It would only carry into tomorrow if I didn't get my life together today. Driving almost 10 hours is no joke. When I moved to Nashville, I absolutely did not think I'd be making that drive as much as I have been, but I actually... You want to start using credit card?
Oh, what I spend in a week. You guys see, you can literally get, let's see. A financially responsible 25-year-old tracking her expenses. Okay, what do we got? You guys let me know. Is this $53 for gas and snacks? $14 for Chipotle. Pet fee at the hotel is $83. Dunkin' 11. Food and drinks 100. Birthday present for mom 81. Uber's 46. Did she start with financially responsible? It's kind of funny. Was that? Oh, in a week. Oh, in a week. That's not bad. I thought that was a day. Okay, so now you guys know. You're like, this is my expense for her. Mid-budget. How much I spend. This is great for you guys. That's not too bad, right? We got, okay. More like financially irresponsible. Well, I've seen worse. I just did debt confessions the other day. I've seen worse. I've seen worse. Okay. Women, we do like these coffees. We do. Hell no, not worth my time. Okay, guys. I was just pitching. Just because nothing's free. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I think that's all we got right now. Well, guys, is that all my mids? All my mids to cities? Yeah. Let me know. I want to know, guys. And I did this experiment the other day, so let me know in the comments. What did the hottest girl in your high school do? Where did she go? When I checked in with 5 different people I know, pretty much all of them went to an A-level city. Although I did go to a small school, so some may have gone to like a B-level city, but pretty much all of them went to a city. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like the video on your way out. And subscribe to the channel. And put in your 2 cents. Where did the hottest girl from your high school go? Let me know in the comments. And I'll read it next show. Like the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.